Howdy, folks. Crazy Gaby here to show you how to participate in a draft day live draft. Joining me here, my buddy, Justin. You know him as Big Italy 42. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much. I'm just getting used to checking out these live drafts, getting excited for the upcoming season, so getting ready for a good time.
Yeah, these live drafts are absolutely magnificent. To use possibly a grand term to describe them, it takes all the fun stuff that you get with season-long drafting, and it combines it into single-week fantasy contests, particularly for football. Single day for baseball, for basketball, for PGA is a single weekend. For football, of course, is a single weekend when you count the Monday and the Sunday games as well. But really what you're doing is you're taking that whole aspect of season-long drafting and how you have to manage a team for the entire year. You're throwing it out the window, but you still get to keep the fun of a snake draft with your friends and whatnot. So to start off, you can go ahead and take a look at this screen I'm at right here. It says, experience the thrill of a traditional live draft each and every day. And that is correct. Each entrant will take turns drafting until all their teams are full. And if you click this join button right here that I'm hovering over, it's going to go ahead and lock you in. So let's go ahead and press join. And as you can see, it has randomly determined the draft order, and it's given us another pop-up box. You can actually click this button, and it will send you a text message once the draft starts to make sure you don't miss it. And if you need to adjust those settings so you have your phone number on file so those messages can be sent to you, you can click the My Account button right here. Once you click OK, you now have the option to either take the tour, which we're not going to do, but you can if you need some additional assistance. Or you can just kind of hang out here until the timer goes down. Or if you're like Justin and I, you don't want to go ahead and wait 4.5 minutes for this draft to start. So we're going to go ahead and click I'm ready right here. And as soon as all participants in the draft have clicked they're ready, you heard the bell, it sounds, and everybody is on the clock. Justin, going to be drafted first. It'll be interesting to see who he takes. I can click on each position to see which players I want to take by just clicking the button right next to the position name, running back, wide receiver, tight end, a flex, kicker, defense, and of course you get 2 substitutions as well. Subs are players that you can sub in throughout the week all the way up until the lineups lock. More on that in just a little bit. And as you can see, the players are ranked according to what we believe their projections are to start the year. So I'm going to go ahead and start with running backs. I see Justin went with Jamal Charles, a solid choice. I'm going to take LaShawn McCoy here. And since I get the wheel, I get to take another one. I'm going to go ahead and roll with Matt Forte in this slot. I like him a lot this season. So those are my 2 picks. Back on Justin now. Now, let's say I want to see who he's drafted so far, right? I can see my team right here, but I want to know who he has. Just click the View Full Draft button right here, and it'll actually pop down and show you every pick that's been made so far. Right now, we're only doing a head-to-head contest, but imagine if you had up to 10 participants hanging out over here. You would be able to see every single pick that they had made up until this point as well. It can be very valuable in determining what you want to do next and seeing how other players' teams are shaping up. So, Justin, have any idea who you want to take there? Or are you going to be that guy that uses the whole clock?
No. While you were talking, I went ahead and went Adrian Peterson with my second pick. In my mind, if he stays healthy, he's still the number 1 back in the league. Obviously not as good of an offense as the other 2 guys that were already taken, but skill alone, I'm taking Peterson whenever possible.
Who's your next guy?
I'm going to go Demaryius Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas, you're just trying to be different now, and thank you very much for that, because I'll just go ahead and scoop Calvin Johnson up right there and quick, and since I get another wide receiver pick, I'm going to go ahead and top that off with A.J. Green, who I think is going to have a monster year.
Oh, I can't disagree with you there. Just in spite of Andy Dalton's struggles, he always seems to get his, so he's obviously a great play. I'm going to go with Des Bryant, my next play.
Now, if you've seen so far, this timer will actually tick down. It starts at 45 seconds per pick, and once it gets down around the 10-second mark, it's actually going to give you a little warning beep. So you should never be left out in the cold, auto-drafted, and accidentally taking somebody like Teddy Bridgewater or the like. That'll probably never happen. Yeah. That's an inside joke with a buddy of ours, but needless to say, you'll never have to be that player who's auto-drafting. We let you know when your turn and you're up on the clock. And a couple other interesting features here. First of all, I think I'm going to go ahead and take Rob Gronkowski. You took Jimmy Graham, so I got to make sure you don't get 2 elite tight ends. And he represents the second of the 2 that are likely to have big years. This would be a perfect opportunity to show you guys the auto draft feature, though. You see, actually have a button you can click right here, a box you can check rather, and you are now auto-drafting. See, it took Peyton Manning for me automatically since he was the highest ranked overall player. And if I click resume drafting, I am back in the driver's seat now, controlling my own destiny. So really cool feature as well. If you know you're going to be walking away for a few moments, you don't have to take up everybody else in the league's time. You can go ahead and click that auto draft function, and it'll just take the highest rated player that you still have a positional need for. So might want to make sure you have a defense and a kicker first, because you don't want to be spending early picks on those. But outside of that, not a terrible idea to do that and walk away. A couple other things that you can do here if you want to search for a player. So there's one guy in particular that I really like this season, Andrew Hawkins. Josh Gordon, probably out for the season, maybe even longer. Andrew Hawkins stands as one of the few tested commodities on the Cleveland Browns roster, and he's a PPR maniac. This is a guy that has had little catches, small yardage catches turned in for touchdowns many, many times over the course of his career. I could easily see Brian Hoyer or Johnny Manziel lighting it up with him. So I'm going to go ahead and search for him right there. I'm going to draft him. And now I want to get back to seeing all the players at the position. All I got to do is click one of the buttons here, and it will actually take me back to seeing all the players. So I'm going to go ahead and draft my first sub here. I think I'm going to make it a wide receiver. I'll take Brandon Marshall. That way I can substitute him out if something were to happen to Calvin Johnson or A.J. Green throughout the week. And Justin, let's see, what's your strategy here? You go kicker here, right?
No, absolutely not. I'm trying to decide if I want to go with running back or wide receiver. I think I'm going to go ahead and go Giovanni Bernard since you took A.J. Green from me. I need a little bit of piece of my Bengal action there.
Yeah, got to have some Cincinnati Bengal action. You are a homer, so you got to make sure you have a little
monster.
bit. Something to root for when you're watching the game and they're getting their asses kicked, right?
Hey, if you're playing from behind, that's even better for running backs who can catch the ball.
This is true. Do you ever find yourself in a weird situation where you are rooting for your favorite team to actually get behind, so not only can they win the game, but your fantasy players can do well?
Yes, absolutely. I know they're going to let me down the playoffs anyway, so I'm fantasy all the way.
Milk it for all it's worth. I hear you.
Exactly. Got to make a couple bucks while they lose, at least.
Who are you thinking of for your last pick here?
I'm thinking I'm going to go Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. Interesting. All right, I'm going to go with Mr. Monte Ball. And now I got to select a defense. I think the no-brainer here is the Seahawks.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. I don't think anyone who doesn't think they're the top defense is just trying to be argumentative, because I don't see any way around that.
Yep.
I'm going to go with my sleeper pick. Maybe not a sleeper to everyone, but I really like the Rams defense this year, so that's where I'm going.
Okay. I want a, let's see, now when you're looking for kickers, you really just want somebody on a high-scoring team. So one of the cool things you can do here is you can actually isolate a team that you want to look for. So here are the first week pairings. All you got to do is find, let's see, whichever game Denver's playing in. And you took him right from under me, Matt Prater. You son of a... Yeah,
you got to have Matt Prater. If he's the first kicker going, it's a top offense, so he's going to have more chances than anyone else. Probably more extra points also, but still, he's going to be in the range all the time.
All right, well, I project the Dallas Cowboys to score a lot of points this year and to be playing from behind often with that terrible defense they have. So I went ahead and selected the Dallas Cowboys team here, the game between them and the 49ers, and I'll just go ahead and click kicker, and it'll bring up the two kickers here, so I can draft Dan Bailey, put him right on my squad, and we are all finished. It is that easy to do a live draft. It's that quick and simple. You can imagine with a larger group, it can be even more fun with the trash talking that you would be doing. And I got a couple options once you get to this point. You can click this button to edit your team, and you can also click this button to return to the lobby. We're going to go ahead and close that, though, and show you how to make substitutions. All you need to do is select a player who's eligible, and the players who are ineligible are going to be grayed out. So if you go ahead and select LaShawn McCoy, I don't have any running backs to replace him with, but if I click Calvin Johnson, well, it looks like, unfortunately, I don't have any of my substitutions showing up because I clicked the San Francisco-Dallas button and forgot to unclick it. Justin, that seems like the kind of mistake you would normally make, so I apologize for not allowing you to have your moment there and for stealing it from me.
I actually showed you how to do that, just so everyone knows. I wanted you to get to have my moment and feel my feeling.
Really, all I was showing everybody was what not to do. You see, if you have that button clicked, you might be wondering that as well. So all you got to do is unclick the team, that you were looking at, and all of the players will show up, of course. And here you go. Got a wide receiver, got a running back. I can go ahead and substitute any of them out if I need to. So easy as pie to do a live draft, and we would love to see you over at DraftDay participating in some of these. If you have any questions, you can hit myself or Justin up on Twitter. I'm at CrazyGaby. He is at BigItaly42, or you can do at Fantasy Sports Live. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you this NFL season.